So 102 of the Visa Blitz podcast. Different camera angle today. We're trying some things new. I think it looks great.
I think it looks awesome.
From our
I mean,
point of
the
view right
lighting
now,
looks
it looks
good.
great. We got the new light right here. This is our ring light. But look, today we're going to be talking about kind of the Pelicans. Pelicans G League team
Indirectly,
is coming to our hometown,
me
actually,
and Brock's hometown.
believe it or not.
Yeah,
Literally grew up 5 minutes from the place.
yeah.
So that's going to be cool. Obviously March Madness, because how could you not talk about March Madness right now? Maybe a little Will Wade, his introductory press conference.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
Connor just listened to it. I was not able to. I was in class. And then little MLB opening, touch on it a little bit, how our teams did. Some LSU guys, how they did. Oh, LSU baseball, they actually finally won a series. But yeah, we'll get into it. This pod is brought to you by Mikado.
3750 Williams Boulevard, 70065. I mean, they got great food over there. Enough said. Really enough said. Easter's coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Go get you some food for your family. I guess we could just briefly start with the Birmingham Squadron moving to Kenner, rebranding as the Lake Town Squadron. I wish they were going to go with the Kenner Squadron. That just
Yeah.
would have made my heart feel some type of way. But I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at a lot of the games if I can make them.
Oh, for sure. Over the summer. Maybe we can cover the games, like
Yeah,
indirectly.
100%.
We'll figure it out. It is kind of surreal that they're going to be playing in the place that we graduated in.
Yeah.
I thought
Wow.
about that earlier.
Full circle moment.
Literally, probably it's been a year since we graduated, pretty much, which kind of doesn't sit right with me. And they're gonna be playing there. We get to see the young and upcoming Pels.
Yeah.
Literally get some of them just homegrown in our state, in our city. It's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have told me 2 years ago that Kenner would have a minor league, like whether it's a minor league professional team, whatever, I mean, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. I mean, that's really awesome. Just for New Orleans, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, obviously New Orleans had the Zephyrs, then we had the Baby Cakes.
Yeah.
They left. Obviously they were a minor league team, tons of fun to go to. Now you have another minor league team, and it's the G League, but still should be fun for the residents of the suburb of New Orleans and even New Orleans residents. Hopefully they can make it out to some squadron. It's going to be electric.
And maybe we can get a minor league team back soon because I know Nola Gold is going through something right now. They're not playing.
That stadium's too damn nice to not
It
have a
is.
baseball field.
That is
their team.
The Zephyr should have never left the Baby Cakes or whatever. Those games were up last year too.
I'll tell you this: they should have never rebranded from the Zephyrs to the Baby Cakes.
Yeah, agreed. Actually,
I mean, I guess you have that semi-popular, disgusting mascot, but I'm not really too proud of that. To
don't
be
they
honest,
still have that mascot running around?
yeah, they
Pelicans?
do.
I mean,
I don't
more power to the Pels, but Pels they were hot. Now they're ice cold once again, but that's because once they got eliminated, they're playing for pride at this point.
As long as you're not in the bottom three of the Western Conference, I'm happy.
Right,
and they're not. So
but they're close. I think they're.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously not in the play-in. So
And then who they got some. Yeah, they just lost to the Pistons. That might be off tonight. But they have had a brutal stretch of games recently.
they got killed by the Rockets last night.
I know that it doesn't matter. Okay.
There goes.
It doesn't matter.
As long as Atlanta doesn't get a top 3 pick, I'm happy.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Let's move back. Let's move on to a different basketball, college basketball, March Madness. I think the last time we talked to y'all was right after the second round.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And good Lord. I mean, this has been probably one of the best all around March Madnesses in recent history. The amount of comebacks and late second shots is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And most recently, UConn with that miraculous shot against Duke. Duke, who absolutely just controlled that game from the beginning of the first half at least, and then they kind of saw it slip away in the end, which Duke has done the entire tournament. They haven't looked good, and they finally looked dominant, and then they went back to their old ways, and it cost them. It was going to catch up to them at some point, and it finally caught up to them in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was a common theme for Duke this year. I mean, they only had a couple losses, but you look at the UNC game, they lost. They were winning the majority of that game. They lost. Texas Tech, they were up a lot of the game and lost. And it was the same theme here with UConn. When I turned the game off, I had to go. I was at church because Palm Sunday, but the Blue Devils were dominating. I thought UConn was dead to rights. I didn't think they had any sort of life whatsoever. and they came all the way back. Caden Boozer makes a kind of boneheaded play. If he just holds onto the ball, UConn probably fouls him, but instead he made the pass. I think Silas Demery tipped it. Then Braylon Mullins, the loose ball, passes it to Alex Caravan. Alex Caravan passes it back to Braylon Mullins from 35 feet out. Bang. UConn wins. Dan Hurley's going crazy.
Yeah.
Absolute cinema. I mean, like you said, Brock, this madness has been unbelievable. Everybody's been saying, oh, March Madness is too chalky. Oh, the tournament's ruined. If you still think the tournament's ruined after these last couple of games, then I don't know what sports you're watching because I want to watch that. This has been unbelievable, and I can confidently say now college basketball is in front of the NBA in my opinion.
Okay, I thought that before the season. But yeah, this definitely solidified it. And now it is hindsight 2020, but I think Caden Boozer, and I said this to producer Ryan, who be on the lookout, he will be in a TikTok posted either today or tomorrow.
Great guy.
I said Caden Boozer, literally, if he just takes the ball and throws it as high as he possibly could, the game's over. Now, obviously, hindsight 2020. Honestly, if he throws it 6 inches higher, Duke wins the game. Because if you look at it, they got two Duke players that were nowhere near anybody. If he gets it past those two UConn guys, then Duke moves on and they're facing
The Fighting Illini.
yeah, Illinois in the Final Four, which we'll get into that whole
This Final Four is going to be amazing.
oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, your Cyclones couldn't get there.
Yeah, we got Delta batting it.
Yeah.
Josh
Y'all lost
Jefferson. Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee, who I mean, they do it every year. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. And then they got dog walked by Michigan. Who Michigan Arizona might be the game of the tournament.
Oh, that is. Oh,
That's going to be fantastic.
I genuinely think it's a 50-50. It's a toss-up. I could not tell you who's going to win that game. Both teams look down.
I agree. I think the winner of that game is going to win the national championship.
100%. I agree.
But I mean,
all four teams are overqualified.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I'd say if I had to rank them, it would be 1A, 1B, Arizona, Michigan, UConn, and Illinois. But it's not like a wide margin by any means. But I mean, what a tournament! I mean, and I can't wait till next year when LSU comes back, and we'll segue that right into Coach Will Wade, the general. He's back. He had his press conference on Monday at noon, I believe. At noon.
Yes.
I could not be there. I had class. Unfortunately, it was a mandatory class, so I couldn't skip. Which I don't condone skipping. Do not skip class. For my little brother's watching. I don't skip class. I don't pat on my back. But I've only seen clips. Connor, you watched the whole thing, so you want to give a deep dive into what he said, some of the questions that were asked.
Yeah. So, first of all, the news of Will Wade breaking happened when I was in math class.
Mm-hmm. I guess we haven't talked about it yet.
Now there were rumors circling about this happening. Mm-hmm. I really didn't think it was going to happen because of his last words at NC State. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm here at NC State. I'm excited. I was brought here to do a job.
I did think it.
You thought he was going to come?
Yes.
I guess if you're a coach in that situation, what else are you going to say?
Exactly.
You know.
Real quick, that's why I hate when journalists, like which we're trying to be, when they ask questions like that to coaches. Like I always point back to the Jim Schlossnagle thing when he said
it's something you have to ask.
You have to ask, but like no coach is going to say, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
Yeah,
like
peace out.
Never
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, like it's never going to be. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to either get mad at you like Jim Schlossnagle did, or like talk about how their program is looking bright and the future's looking good.
Exactly.
But continue.
Yeah, but I was lucky enough to be at the airport when Will Wade landed, and you had Verge Osbury there, LSU president Wade Roos, Heath Schroyer, who was the McNeese athletic director with Will Wade when he was at McNeese. They brought him in as kind of a package deal. And they had the board of supervisors there. And when I tell you the emotion on all of their faces was second to none, it was unbelievable. I was smiling the whole time, too. I mean, it was unbelievable seeing Will Wade come off of that off of that plane. And then, in his press conference, he goes, what was the quote? We're going to make history either way.
I'm either going to, I'm going to botch this. This is paraphrasing. Basically, he's either going to hang a banner or be the first coach in history to get fired twice from the same school.
He's making history either way, folks.
Yes.
But for LSU basketball fans, this brings a whole new life into the PMAC, into Baton Rouge, because Brock and I went to a bunch of the basketball games last year, and I think LSU was picked second to last in the SEC last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Even when LSU was 10-1, the PMAC was still very empty. You could tell there was no real build up, no hype around LSU hoops, which is unfortunate because turn back the clock 5 years with Will Wade, you're competing in a Sweet 16. LSU basketball is at an all-time high. That life is back. It's back. I mean, you have Will Wade, the general, everybody's hyped up about it. I mean, LSU's already reported that they have insane amount of or the number's insane for the amount of season tickets.
Oh, I saw like 700 requests.
It was like within like the first couple of hours or something.
Shows it. Yeah.
The fan base is there, and now you have the pieces to actually do it, to make it happen. So LSU fans have every right in the world to be over the moon about this. Right. Simple as that.
I have 1 point and then a question. Sure. So I said this on a different show that I was on. Will Wade is the perfect coach for LSU basketball.
Like, yes, 100%.
Because LSU basketball, they weren't going to go out and get like the Lane Kiffin of basketball. They weren't going to get Calipari or Dan Burley. They were going to steal a coach. So they had to go back to what worked for him, and Will Wade worked for him. And he is the perfect coach. He loves LSU. He knows how to recruit. He's a great coach, and we got him back. Now, my question to you is, when do you think we see success? Is it immediate now that we're in the NIL era, which another quote he had is basically he's going to follow the rules now. And then somebody that quote tweeted and said there are no rules now. And then there was something else he said NIL means now it's legal, which I thought was funny. But my question, when do you think do we see an immediate turnaround, or does it take a couple years? Because his first year when he came here the first time, they made the NIT, and then the next 3 years they made the tournament. So what do you think you see the same thing, or do they get right in the tournament?
Well, to your first point, Verge Osbury said that they only wanted one coach, and that was Will Wade. But to answer your question, I mean, going to be a national title favorite next year? No. Do I think LSU will make the NCAA tournament? Yes, I do. I think they absolutely should. The amount of money that's going to be dumped into this program next year is going to be more than it has ever seen. So do I think they're going to be dominant next year? No. Do I think they can make the tournament as a 6 to 10 seed? 1,000%. Yeah. And I think that is the expectation. I do. With the amount of resources LSU has. And now you have the coach. Transfer portal opens here in about a week. You're going to see a ton of people come to LSU, a ton of big names. Now, speaking of big names, you lost Deon Thomas Jr. probably to Houston. I've
seen Houston, Florida, and I can't remember the other one. I want to say Kentucky, but
it might have been Kentucky.
Doesn't sound right.
I think it was. Anyway, we think Houston.
Yeah. So do all the professionals.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for Deon. I mean, he was a stud in the purple and gold. Just unfortunately, it was not meant to be last year. Would love to have him back, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, I think the expectation around LSU should be to have a winning record in the SEC and to make the tournament next year. To answer your question,
agree. Well said. The only thing that worries me is the SEC is a lot deeper now than it was when Will Wade was here the first time. So how he manages that will be interesting to see. And last thing on Will Wade, shout out Sam. I don't know if you saw this, but Amir Khan was at the press conference.
Oh yeah, I reposted that.
Repping his McNeese shirt, and Tiger TV actually asked
him, shout out.
Are you transferring to LSU? And he didn't say no.
He didn't say no.
He said he did say I'm a huge fan of LSU. So will we see Amir or Khan headed to LSU? Maybe
that would be
do his credits transfer.
Dude. That would be cinema if Amir or Khan transferred. That'd be cinema.
I think Sam would follow his leads.
Oh, dude.
In his own.
He would be at every game 2 hours early, waiting to get into the PMAC.
Shout out Sam. I hope you're watching this. Awesome. Now let's move on to another LSU sport who finally looks like they're turning a corner. The LSU Fighting Tigers of baseball. The LSU baseball team took down the pesky Kentucky Wildcats
football score.
Yeah, 17-10 in a just crazy series. In game one, Case and Evans struggled in the first 2 innings, but then finally settled in. But to Kentucky's credit, their game one starter was the lights out. Can't think of his first name, but his last name is Jokin. He's a transfer from Houston, and I mean he had everything working for LSU. We threw 8 innings. Didn't give up, or no, he gave up 2 runs in the third or fourth inning, or else you started to kind of chip away. Um, and then just he was on cruise control the rest of the game. And then I think LSU, they finally started to break out at the end of the game in that ninth inning when they started to put together great at bats. I think Zach York had a 10 pitch at bat that resulted in a single,
Good for him.
and
Needed that.
they scored 2 runs in that ninth inning. And then you saw that jump like that. They built off of that into Saturday, in which they won 7-0 behind dominant pitching behind Will Smith and
that count.
yeah, I mean that was phenomenal. They needed that bad. LSU needed to win this series more like really badly because they had to go on the road the
I
next.
think this series would make or break.
Yeah,
And they made it.
yeah. Thank God, because they go on the road 3 of the next 4 series, including Knoxville this weekend, which is going to be a hostile environment. These two teams do not like each other at all. We all remember last year what Jared Jones did on that at 1:17 a.m.
I mean, I was smiling. I couldn't stand Tennessee last
I
year.
mean,
You remember? I think what was that guy's name? That Jared
oh,
Jones was drawn with.
oh my God, Antigua, something Antigua.
Antigua. You're right.
Yeah, he's just. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore, to be honest.
I think he was batting like 150.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
he like squared up to Jared Jones, and well, lo and behold. So yeah, it's going to be a tough series this weekend. Even though now, if I told you before the season that LSU and Tennessee would meet up in the fourth week of the SEC and neither of them would be ranked, you'd probably think I was crazy.
Yeah.
Neither team is ranked right now, but that's baseball. But back to the Kentucky series, and then we'll talk a little more about Tennessee. Obviously, Saturday the bats came around. You saw Mason Braun hit his second career home run. You saw the Tigers able to manufacture runs. And then in game 3, it couldn't have started worse.
No.
You get down 7-0 behind Gavin Guidry, who just continues to struggle out of when he starts. I think he needs to just when he comes out of the bullpen. I don't know if it's just what he likes to do, come into high leverage situations and slam the door.
Started against UL, right?
And it did not go well.
Yeah.
He now has 2 starts on the year, and
Just
neither of
bad.
them have gone
Yeah.
well. But credit to LSU, the rest of the pitching staff, they held it down. They obviously get down 7-0, and then who came in after that? I want to say Santiago Garcia maybe after
You only
that.
allowed 3 runs the rest of the way.
Yeah. And it was the third inning where LSU's bats really took over. It started with bases loaded. LSU got the bases loaded, and then Derek Curiel hits a ground ball up the middle that he beats out at first base. So they score a run, and then whoever was next walks, and then John Pierce goes yard for a grand slam, make it 7-5, and then the guy, red hot SEC Player of the Week, Seth Darnold, finished the weekend. I'm skipping ahead right here. We finished the weekend batting 600 with 4 doubles and a home run, and the home run I'm sure everybody's seen that he sent over the student section in right field, and the bat flip that was heard around the world. That was, I mean,
the fact that I think Jay Johnson said he got a warning.
Yeah, I mean,
but
obviously.
yeah,
Come on.
that bad. I mean, Brock and I were talking about this. They pan to the ball, which is going over the right field bleachers,
Yeah.
and you still see the bat line. It was the greatest bat flip I've ever seen. I mean, he hits the home run and just throws the bat up like that. Shout out Seth Darnold. He needed this weekend. That was huge for him.